Hi, hello everyone. All right, so I got a lot to cover and I don't want to be on here forever. So I'm going to talk kind of fast. And I recommend that whether you're watching this now, like as I'm talking, or like during the replay, that you go ahead and get some pen and paper. I can already tell you I'm glad Patricia's on here. Christina's not on here, but I'm going to go ahead and, hold on. I pick on Patricia and Catherine. And it is not to pick on you guys, but it is a learning experience, okay? So just keep that in mind. I pick on Kim Kardashian too. So, anyways, I'm going to give you a lot of good, or at least I feel like it's good knowledge. So I hope that everyone gets some value from this. Let me check on him one more time. He was like rolling around. Okay. So the first thing that I want to cover has nothing to do with this training. It's just kind of the accountability chat and the volume chat we have going on right now. So for everyone who has not seen that, we have an accountability chat. It's not for talking, so there's not going to be like updates. It's not going to be crazy. It's literally just to hold yourself accountable. So you post your IPA guide in there daily, and that's just a way that you can see that I did it, that Felicia did it, that, you know, all of us are holding ourselves accountable. Which for me is very helpful because I know if I see Felicia posting her IPA guide in there, I'm like, okay, I need to get my shit together, like go do my IPA guide. I can't talk, IPA guide. So for me, that's super helpful. If that's not for you, then so be it. But if you need to be in it, just let me know. And then the volume chat, Christina created that. But basically, it's just going to be another thing for like motivation and accountability to help yourself kind of see where other people are and see where you need to be as far as if you're pushing for a rank. So each day I'm going to I sent it in our like whole team chat, Glambella chat today. It's a graphic I created, and literally every single day I'm going to update that volume. And so that's going to be that's going to be the number that your volume should be around for you to be on the right track daily for whatever rank you're pushing for. Obviously, it's going to vary. On day one, my volume is never whatever that volume's supposed to be. But like as the month goes on, it'll give you an idea of like where you should be. So that's basically it. Neither one of them are mandatory, but I just wanted to cover that so everyone understands what is going on. So now I'm going to hop into all of the Instagram things. So first of all, I want to start off by saying I truly believe that everyone should be using Instagram. If you asked me to pick one social media platform that you should use, it would be Instagram. I would tell you to throw Facebook away all day, every day. So I think everyone should use Instagram. Instagram as a whole is extremely important, but I truly believe that your stories are going to be the most important, but I'm going to get to that in a little bit. So I'm so excited to share this. So I found a way to check your engagement. I don't know if anyone knew this, but I just found this out. So I found a website to check your engagement. So this is just a little thing. Here's where I'm going to pick on you guys, okay? Kim Kardashian has 136 million followers, okay? Like, holy shit, what the fuck? Her engagement rate is 1.57. I have 6.8 thousand followers. My engagement rate is 4.87. Christina has 12.7 thousand followers. Her engagement rate is 4.2%. Patricia has, I promise I'm not trying to pick on you. I just picked everyone's names. Patricia has 12.3 thousand followers, and her engagement rate is 0.66%. Catherine just created this Instagram and only has 447 followers, and her engagement rate is 8.08%. Like, holy shit, what the fuck are you doing, Catherine? Like, you must talk to all your followers, all 447 of them. But the funny thing is, and there's a limit on it, so I couldn't look at everyone's, I'm sorry. But I will tell you the website so you can go look at yours. But I tried to pick, like, kind of different, like, follower amounts. So, InstaZoo does it. Okay, well, this one's called Phlanx, PHLANX.com. And I wanted to tell you those numbers because, you know, we get so caught up in, oh, how many followers do I have? How many, you know, I want my followers to be at 10,000, 12,000, whatever we want our followers to be. But at the end of the day, I mean, yes, we want followers because that a bigger following is a bigger market. But at the same time, your engagement rate is going to be so much more important than your followers, because you can have 136 million followers like Kim Kardashian does. But if that engagement rate is only 1.57%, I mean, we're not famous, so like it's kind of different. But if your engagement rate is lower, then that reach that you're not reaching 136 million people. And those people are not engaging with you, and they're not seeing what you have to offer. So, Megan said mine's probably negative. You can check it. Go check that website. When we get off here, listen to me. So they say that anything over 2% is considered good, and anything over 4% is considered phenomenal. So Catherine is, I don't even know what you consider that, but my God. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I thought that is super helpful, because I didn't know what mine was. I do know that I do get a lot of interaction on my story, so it's interesting to see what it is. And then it's interesting to be able to say, okay, how can I make that better? And, you know, sit there with Patricia. We talk about how she has a lot of ghost followers. She does a lot of loops and stuff like that. It's going to be helpful for her to go, okay, well, how can I fix this? How can I make my engagement rate better? So obviously, to make your engagement rate better, you want to engage with your followers. So you need to organically be spending at least 30 minutes a day interacting. And that is more than just going through your feed. Like we don't want to be just in a scroll hole here. So if you can spend an hour, that's really better, but at least 1.71. All right, Maggie, we got to work on that, girl. You're better than Kim K, but you need to really spend about 30 minutes interacting at least. Another good way for interaction is obviously going to be the comment pods and stuff like that. So, you know, Felicia has the one going for stories. That's going to help your story interaction a lot. But also ones for posts. And I highly recommend, if you can find one, like people post all the time, like I follow Monate girls and stuff, so they post all the time. They'll be like, who wants in a group for engagement or whatever. If you can find one with girls that are all in different companies, then that's even better, because you don't just want like Bellamy girls on your photo all the time, or your stories. And when I say 30 minutes organically engaging, understand that I mean all, like I want you to do it on your feed or your I can't think of the word, your posts, like people's posts, but I also want you to do it on your stories, especially because if you're not, like, I don't really promote the business necessarily all in my Instagram feed, but my stories is where I mainly promote it. And so you need the majority of your market to be coming from your stories. And I know that a lot of people struggle with not getting a lot of views on their stories. So I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit, but okay. Here are some engagement tips to help the algorithm. We always know that the algorithm is changing, but here is some huge tips in case you don't already know already. A big one is replying back to comments within the first hour of posting. This is something I'm horrible about. You'll see me comment in about 6 days later, but I'm getting better with that with my IPA guide. But if you can comment back to comments within the first hour of posting, it will be a lot better for your engagement and algorithm. If you reply to your comments with at least 4 words, it's going to be a lot better. And then if you use all features, especially in your stories, then the algorithm favors you. So you don't want to continuously only use the poll thing. You don't want to continuously only use the question thing. You need to do a variety. So use the poll, use the question, use boomerang, you should be using all of them. It's going to help best. Also, when you're engaging, I'm going to talk about this throughout this whole thing that I talk about. I want you to think about what your niche is. I know some people say it differently. I'm going to say niche, but I want you to think about what your niche is. Just keep that in mind, but it's important throughout this whole thing. So, third thing I'm going to talk about is growing. Obviously, you want to continue to grow. Your engagement is more important than necessarily your growth, but you're always going to have to be growing to expand your network. I know that growth can be scary. I remember like when I first started network marketing, I was like terrified to follow new people, and I think I forget that, like being in social selling so long now, I'm like, whatever, I don't care who I follow. But I like thinking back, I'm like, okay, like I genuinely got like nervous to follow new people because I thought that they'd be like, why the fuck is this girl following me? So you can't think about it like that. Just you're making friends. I literally, every time I add someone, I think about them as like, oh, I want this girl to be my best friend. Like that's how I think about it. And once again, going back to the niche thing, when you're growing, you want to be thinking about not only like beauty and stuff like that, because we are in a beauty company, but people that you relate to. So I've had to like really change up my market lately, because when I first started network marketing, I was just this basic broke college girl who time. And so 98% of my followers are all people who are like still in college and stuff. And so I really had to expand and kind of open it up to more like moms and stuff like that, especially ones who aren't already in network marketing, which is a huge thing as well. I do not want you adding 600,000 people who are in network marketing, because I think that one of the reasons that my Instagram does so well is because they're not all in network marketing. And that's a downfall of my Facebook, is everyone in there is like in network marketing. So obviously new followers are always new potentials. So I'm going to talk about a couple of different ways to grow. So the first one is Captivate. I know we've talked about this app a million times, but it is extremely helpful. And just for time's sake, I'm not going to like go through it. There's a training where Christina does do an example. And I think that if someone needs it, like I've always just done screen recordings for whoever doesn't understand it. But I think that I just need to do a screen recording and post it in the team page so it's always there. But basically, it's going to help you grow quickly, because you can add a large amount of people to a local or a cloud queue, and then you can either manually follow a lot of people easily throughout the day, or when you put it in the cloud queue, it's going to follow people automatically throughout the day. So that is super helpful. Then, of course, you can organically grow. So honestly, it's not the one advantage to using Captivate is, so I think of it as the same thing. Whenever I use Captivate, I go through and I look at people's profiles, because when you hold it down on their face, you can like actually go into their Instagram. So I genuinely find people I'm going to connect with in my niche, in my, mom, whatever I can relate to. But Captivate just does it quicker. However, of course, I still organically grow, not always just using Captivate, because sometimes I'll just click on, say a girl that I really like, her Instagram comes up sometime in non-network marketing, but I'll just click on her likes, and then sometimes I'll go through and like find people to follow that way. That is just strictly organically growing, and honestly, that's how I grew the majority of my following, was just organically growing like that. If you want to go quickly, though, which is what a lot of people ask, because I grew my 6,000 quickly, I have lacked really hardcore for the past few months, but I grew that quickly, and I know like I'm pretty sure Felicia grew hers pretty quickly. Got some phlegm in my throat. But if you want to do that, you have to be following a lot daily, and then stay on top of cleaning, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But all right, so I did this thing that Christina told us about the other day and got with the social media manager. I actually thought about doing it a couple months ago, when this girl who owns a boutique was talking about it on a live, and I just like I don't know. I don't think they offered a free trial, so I didn't like do anything with it. But this guy offers a 2-day free trial. So 48 full hours of a free trial of growing your social media. And so by the end of the 2 days, oh crap, I'd have to go back and look, but I think I gained almost 400 followers. I don't know why I said 1,000, y'all. Please ignore me because I can't do math. But it was like 400, which was still really good for me, because I haven't been able to grow in months. Like, it's almost like, I don't know. I thought my Instagram was broken, and I literally thought about making a new one. I just like wasn't growing. So I gave him really good target accounts. Like, I gave him bloggers who had like over 5,000 followers, and I got really good. One of them was actually an It Works girl, and I think that she was the most like people who followed me back. But it wasn't even a lot of It Works people or anything. But anyways, I gave him good target accounts, and so I've gotten a lot of good. I got a lot of good followers from that, and then I also I actually started like an actual package with him, and so right now we're working on cleaning out, but I've dropped, because he wants me, I was trying to look at my number, he wants me to drop followers. So yesterday I was following about 6,400, and today right now it's cleaning, I'm following 4,900. So we're trying to get down to about 3,500 or 4,000, so we can like grow harder, because if you don't know, you can only follow 7,500 people on Instagram. So we're doing that. I recommend doing it if you can do the free trial. I mean, you don't have to put in a card or anything. Definitely just try it, see if it's worth your money. And if you can afford it, then I say do it, because that kind of takes some of the weight off of your shoulders. And I grew my Instagram for 2 years without doing that, so it's definitely not necessary, but I just kind of wanted to take it to the next level. So another way to grow is loops and giveaways. They are all over the place. You can find them. I actually have 2 lists, so I can post them in the team page. I have a list of loops and I have a list of giveaways. And of course, there's a million more other than that, but I will share those with you. Once again, if you're doing a loop or if you're doing a giveaway, I want you to be in your niche. I don't want you to be doing like random giveaways and random loops where you're going to get not quality people. We want quality people, because those are the people who are going to be your customers. So if you're getting people who are posting like, I don't know, just, you know what I'm saying, just random stuff, you want to try to find people who are into beauty, who can relate to you, you know, who are moms, who are who have dogs, like whatever it is. Try to find stuff that will relate to you, like a Target giveaway. Like any of those girls who are in that Target giveaway are gonna be my friend because I love Target. So just stuff like that. But the only thing with loops and giveaways is you just kind of have to be cautious of ghost followers, because you can quickly rack up people who aren't really like ever gonna be interested in what you're doing and stuff like that. So you just have to be cautious of that. So this girl that I'm doing this influencer class with, she grew from, oh man, what was her starting? I think she organically grew to like 5,000, and then in the past 5 months, she's grown from 5,000 to yesterday she was sitting at like 60.7K followers or something. And she said the main way that she's grown is doing loops. And so she does 3 a week. And she does 1 giveaway a week. So loops are free, and you can gain anywhere from like 200 to 500 plus followers. And then giveaways, you usually gain more, but there usually is a buy-in. Sometimes they're really cheap. They can be about $5. Sometimes they can be up to like $50, so, or more. But you can gain more followers that way. And then, secret tip, apparently a lot of times giveaway accounts need help running their account. So if you ask and you're willing to help run an account, you can usually get in for free. All right, so this is something that I'm not that familiar with, because it's not something that I've used a whole lot in, like, I don't know, my time in network marketing, but I'm going to expand, because she says this is another huge way that she's grown. And I'm actually going to talk about this just a little bit here, but more so in a second. So hashtags, obviously, like, people know what hashtags are. You want to use them for your niche. You want them to have to do with what you're posting. You do not want to post random. Like, don't post a picture of like you and your dog and be hashtagging Xbox 360. Like, that has nothing to do with your picture. So don't post like random stuff like that. So you want it to have to do with your pic or your story. Most people say it's better if you add it to your actual caption and not the first comment, but some people go back and forth with that. So she says she recommends just adding it to your actual caption and then add it to your stories. You can make them super small and then put them like in the corner. I'm going to go into some really good hashtag strategies in just a second. That's the best for you to gain followers and attraction, but I'm going to go into that in a second. So we're going to talk about content on your feed real quick. We want to be posting really good quality content. You want to think of your Instagram as a magazine. You want it to be pretty. You want it to be crisp, bright, whatever. A great way for you to make your Instagram cohesive is to use presets. They're extremely cheap on Etsy. You can get them for like $4. They do like sales and stuff all the time. They'll be like $2. Super cheap, and you can always create your own. I know that if you go to Pinterest, they have good ones that you can use on VSCO and stuff like that too that are totally free. But I recommend doing something like that so your feed looks cohesive and nice. It honestly just brings, to me, it just like, I don't know. It just, to me, it just, if your pictures are like bright and kind of flow, it just makes your Instagram look better regardless of what you're posting. Like even if it's your dog or even if you're posting your coffee pot, it looks better with a nice edit on it than if it were to like be like, why is the girl posting her coffee pot? You know what I'm saying? Like it just looks better. So that's an easy way for you to be able to make your Instagram look nice. So each caption, like earlier, you can post short captions, but if you're going to post like longer captions, especially if they're like selfies or whatever you're going to post, make sure that you're telling a story. Make sure that you are telling something that people are going to be interested in, and not just be rambling for like 20 minutes on like we don't know what. But say something that people are going to be interested in. Grab people's attention, and then at the end you want to ask a question. That is the best way to get organic engagement, and that goes along with your engagement pods too as well, because when people are asking questions like that, that is going to help your interaction as well. You don't want to be asking like the same question or like dumb questions all the time. Like you don't want to be asking like, they say the algorithm knocks you if you're constantly like drop an emoji or I don't know, I can't even think of a basic question right now and I don't know why, but like just don't ask the same question over and over again. They say it's best for your algorithm if you post at least one time a day. Always geograph so you can tag in the top thing where you're at. That's going to give you obviously more engagement for your area, which is great because I literally have been in network marketing for 2 years and I've like never been able to get like a group of people around me, and I would love that. That would be so much fun for working. So I'm definitely going to work on that. If you need to plan your post, you can. There's plenty of apps that do it. One of them is the Preview app, and then you can pick one day of the week that you like mark off to create content. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine, but just make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself. I know that a lot of people say, oh, well, I feel forced to post, like I don't have time, or I can't think of what to say. Well, first of all, if I ever think of a caption idea, like when Christina said something the other day, I was like, okay, that's a good idea. I did post it that day, but when times like that stuff happens, I'll write it down in my notes as an idea and then go back and use it later. I don't plan out my posts, but I think I'm actually going to try to start and at least like on Sunday or one day of the week, at least plan out my Instagram content, because I make content for Allie as well. She pays me, and I feel like I'm like always trying to like scramble to make stuff at the last minute, and I would rather like pick a day and like make stuff and like have it for the week. So that might help you be a little bit more organized if you're doing that for your regular post and your stories. So you're not feeling like you're so like forced to post, or it's like not generic or whatever. But definitely, like, if you see, don't feel, okay, so here's a huge thing for me. We don't want to copy and paste, but please understand that you can take ideas from someone. Like my caption the other day was talking about college being a scam. It was a good post, I feel like, but if you think it was good, take an idea from that and turn it into your own post. that makes it a lot easier than sitting down and being like, oh my God, I have nothing in my brain. Like, I can't come up with the post. Like, you can take ideas from people, just make it your own. Okay, so we're going to talk about the hashtag strategy now. Y'all, I'm about to give up on this one girl. She's been trying to be a customer for like 10 years, and I swear to God, every time she messages me to order, it's hell. I'm about to just like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. She's been trying, she's always asking me questions. Okay. We're going to talk about the hashtag strategy. So it's called 369. So you want to use 3 bigger hashtags, and this is on your feed, but also on your story. Mainly for your feed, but same concept on your story. So 369, you want to use 3 bigger hashtags related to your post. So you want it to be related to your post. You don't want random things on there. And when I say bigger hashtag, you want it to have 500,000 or more hashtags. Then you want to use 6 medium hashtags, medium meaning between 100,000 to 500,000 hashtags. Then you want to use 9 smaller hashtags, meaning 100,000 hashtags or less. So 369. Instagram only lets you use 30 total hashtags. So obviously that's all that you can use, but you can use ones after that. But you should use that hashtag strategy. Apparently works extremely well for people. And then you never want to post the same group of hashtags over and over again. Instagram will ding your algorithm and won't allow people to see your post as much because it just doesn't look organic. So I feel like that is awesome, and I should have used it on my post earlier. I suck. Okay. So next we're going to talk about stories. If you're new to network marketing, or even if you're not, I want you right now to get comfortable with being on camera. I want you to record yourself day in and day out. You don't have to post it, but I want you to get used to it for the next like week or so, and then I want you to get over yourself and I want you to post it. But really, I want you to get comfortable with recording yourself. So I don't always like to go live. It's really hard with the baby because like he'll be fine 1 minute and the next he's like pitching a fit. So going live isn't always the most I can't even think of the word, convenient for me. But I always get really good interaction on my Instagram stories whenever I do pre-recorded videos. And it's super easy because like if you're recording yourself and you mess up, you know what you do? You delete it and you start over. Or you don't. You just let people see how crazy you are. Which I was going to keep the one where I originally found out that my hands were orange today. If y'all watched my Instagram video, I legit like died laughing at myself in the middle of my video, and then someone called me and it went away, and I was like mad because I was like going to keep it. It was funny. But yeah. It's better if you're more authentic, I guess. But it's really easy for you to just delete it, start over if you think you sound stupid or whatever. And get really used to that because people love it. People love to be nosy. People love to hear your voice. People love it. And I don't know why, but literally every single time, my views are kind of low because I didn't post a lot on my story. I only posted like twice or something yesterday on my story. Okay, so right now my first post I posted today is at 988 views. Usually when I post pre-recorded videos like the one I did today, by tomorrow, like at around the time before it goes away, it'll be over 1,600 views. And I don't know why, but every time I do pre-recorded videos like that, like they skyrocket. So that is really, it does really well for me. So I recommend that everyone get used to that. And at the same time, interact with people who do the same. So when someone goes live and talk, or not live, but when someone does pre-recorded videos, a lot of times I like, it just depends on the person. But a lot of times if it's someone I interact with or they're on my dream team or whatever, if they're going to get on and talk like that, I'm going to listen to them and I'm going to be responding to them like, yes, girl, like whatever you're talking about. and like literally have a conversation with them, because that is good for your algorithm, and that builds that relationship. So also on your stories, geotag often. So if you go somewhere, whatever, put your location, and then post every day. This is extremely important, and I know it every single time that I like, well, I don't know, I haven't missed a day on my stories in like a while, but even if I notice the biggest interaction when I post like more than like 4 times on my story. Even if I post one, my algorithm is like way down. So I recommend making sure that you're posting, just like my IPA guide said. I really think that you should be posting at least 3 times on your story a day. And it can be about literally anything. It doesn't matter. Honestly, the more random shit you post about, the better, because then people get an insight into your life, and kind of see what you're about. So I don't want you stressing out feeling like you have to post Bellamy, Bellamy, Bellamy 60 times a day on your story. That is not what I want. And when it does come time to post Bellamy on your story, you know that we do have that Google album, and we have the story thread that you can pull stuff from or inspiration from. But other than that, I just would love for people to be posting anything about their life. What you're cooking for dinner, that did well for me. I only posted like twice, but I'm gonna do that more. That did really well for me, just stuff like that. Okay, so the last huge thing is consistency. We all know that this is extremely important, and like I said, I notice huge differences when I'm not consistent on my stories and on my posts, and we're just, I don't know. So one of the biggest things that I recommend is creating a habit out of, I only post on my feed about 3 times a week, but I recommend being in your stories, like I said, at least 3 times a day. Just make it a habit. So make it a habit to post something inspirational. I do that probably every single day. Make it a habit to get on there and talk about something random. So if you just want to, like, if you go take your dog out in the morning, get on your video and be like, hey guys, I just wanted to say happy Monday, like whatever you want to say. Just make it a point to do that. And then I recommend you trying to set alarms. I have been doing that lately, and I know that's worked well for me. Patricia was talking about it today as well. So if you notice, like, I'm the worst at like letting time get by me, especially because I have squirrel brain and I'll start doing like way too many things. Like, I was trying to post earlier, and I like started writing all this down, and then like 3 hours passed, and I was like, oh my God, I haven't posted. So if you set an alarm, it kind of like reminds you that, like, okay, Sierra, you need to like do this. So if you set alarms like whatever every 2 hours or something, then especially if you have kids or whatever you're doing, then that reminds me, like, when my alarm goes off, I'm like, okay, I need to do more reach outs. Like, that kind of just I'm just bad at time management, honestly, and I know a lot of people are. So I feel like setting alarms is super helpful. Another thing about time management that I was going to bring up is using like Google Calendar, or did I just hear that? My dog just sounded like he was dying. Is using Google Calendar or another planning type of app, and creating like a routine for your day, because that is going to be helpful as well. So when I was in college, I like was really good. My roommate did this a lot too. She still does this to this day. She's an RN, but I used to like legit write down my day. So like from this time to this time, especially for like finals and stuff. So I'd be like, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., I'm going to study this topic. From 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., I'm going to do this. And honestly, if I didn't have a kid, that would work very well. But I still try to go off of something like that a lot of times in my Google Calendar, or I'll just write it down in my notebook and be like, this is what I want to get done at this chunk of the morning, or whatever. And I think that can work really well for people if you have time management issues, especially if you work a job, because you can say, okay, I want to set my alarm for an hour early and make sure I get my IPA guide done before I go to work. Or you can say, when I get off work, before I even leave the driveway, I'm going to sit in my car, and for 20 minutes, I'm going to interact or whatever you're going to do. But I feel like you need to have it written down, or you need to have it in your mind that that is a part of your routine. You have to create that routine. You can't just expect like out of nowhere you're going to just be like putting Bellamy in your life. Like you have to make it a priority. You have to make it a routine. And you have to just want it bad enough, honestly. Like you have to be willing to make it a part of your day. Don't make it like, don't feel like it's a hassle. I think that that's like, you joined this because you wanted something out of it, correct? Whether it's friends, whether it's a hobby, whether it's money, which most of us want. But don't make it seem like literally daily. I wake up excited to get in our group chat. Like I wake up excited to say good morning to everyone. I wake up excited to talk to Patricia. Me and Patricia literally talk like at least like 600 audios a day. But I wake up excited for those things because I love my job. Like I genuinely love this. And even if it's not your full-time job, I hope that you genuinely love it enough to not feel like it is a hassle. And I mean, I know we're talking about Instagram, but I'm just talking about overall in general too. Instagram goes a lot with that. Instagram is my job. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm excited to go look at like other people's stories. Like, I mean, okay, this is so generic because people will be like, oh, get paid $500 extra a month because you're sitting on your phone scrolling. At the end of the day, really though, I am, because I sit here and I just like go through people's stories and I put heart eyes and then I put, oh, I love your shoes. And then like we get paid essentially to build friendships, you guys. And I think that that is so fun. It's so cool. It does get hard. It does get stressful and it does get discouraging. And like, there's going to be hard times, but I just feel like you have to not think of it as work. You have to think of it as fun. Like I think of it as fun. So that is the majority of what I have. I feel like I just talked extremely fast. But that was some good stuff. I definitely recommend, I mean, I loved finding out about this engagement thing. I didn't even know that was a thing. So obviously I'm late to the party because Catherine knew about a website. But I definitely recommend checking your engagement rate. You want it to be at least over 2%. So if it's not over 2%, you know that you have some, first you need to clean out your, which I didn't even mention. I meant to mention. So I have two apps. I have this app, it's called Followers. You can't even see it. That little blue one right there. It has like a person thing, Followers. I was using that one to clean out, and then that social media guide told me to download Cleaner for Instagram, and it's literally like Captivate, but the opposite. So I like go through and I like click people, and then I unfollow, and that's how I've been able to get down to 4,900 or whatever. So both of those are really good, but the Cleaner one's better. I had to download the Pro version and the cloud version. I think between the two I spent like $8, but definitely worth it because like that was all within less than 24 hours. I've cleaned out like however many people, over 1,000. So I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, the engagement thing. So first you need to be cleaning out, because that means that you are probably having a lot of people that aren't actually engaging with you, which means that they don't care about what you're doing and you probably don't care about what they're doing. You need to find people who are in your niche, who you can relate to, who are quality people. Okay, guys? Like, I know that I say that a lot, but you don't want to be messaging or talking to anyone and everyone. And just like this girl, okay, so a lot of the reason that I'm still talking to her at this point is because I went to high school with her. But when I say that, she has literally been, every time I do a deal, she messages me every time, and the conversation will go on for like 3 days. So every day on the 30th, I'm like, okay, my deal's ending at midnight. And then she's like, okay, well, I can't order until tomorrow. So then like the conversation goes on and I'm like, well, I'll still do the deal for you, because like I just keep being like, okay, just like order. And today she kept asking me, because it went on through the 30th again, and she kept asking me questions. She was like, well, I just don't get the discounts. How does it add up to that? So I literally sent her the chart and broke it all down for her. I'm like, girl, we've been over this for like 3 months now. But that's what I'm talking about. Like at this point, if I didn't know her personally, like I probably would have just like been done with the conversation. Talk to quality people, you guys. You don't, and customers are a different story, but especially if you're trying to enroll partners, remember that you are going to work with that person think of it as forever. You want to work with that person forever. I love working with each and every single one of you guys on here. And it is fun to work with you guys. Like, I don't want to say you're their boss, but you are going to be their leader. You are going to be the one who helps them. So if they're like, I don't know, like if they're not your type of person, don't push enrolling them. That is what I'm trying to get at here. That if you would not be best friends with them in person, I probably would not be pushing enrolling them. But I would recommend, if your engagement is low, you need to be doing some cleaning out and you need to be interacting. If you are not genuinely interacting organically, at least 30 minutes to an hour a day, then you need to start. Like, you have to be interacting so much that people are watching you. And that doesn't mean that if your interaction is low, that doesn't mean that people aren't watching you, but you want that interaction to be high, so your engagement rate to be high. So you know that you're reaching a lot of people and that people are actually seeing what you're posting. Because at that point you do come to a point where, like, you know, if you are posting over and over and over again and you're not getting any interaction from it, you're not getting, so I'm trying to think of who it was. I can't remember. Someone I was talking to recently about their engagement on Facebook, and we're not talking about Facebook right now, but the same for Instagram. A lot of people struggle. I don't know why my Instagram has done so well, but like I grew it so quickly when I was with It Works. But I know a lot of people struggle with interaction. And then I'll say, like, how many people are you interacting with? Or, you know, who are you really talking to people? Are you actually building relationships? Or are you just liking and like going through your scroll hole? And if you're genuinely commenting on people's pictures, like about their life, their shoes, their hair, their dog, whatever it is, and if you're genuinely interacting with people's stories, I truly believe at the end of the day, there's no way possible that if you're actually putting in the work to interacting, that your engagement will not go up. It just doesn't make sense. If, like, you can't sit here and say, you know, over the course of a month that your engagement hasn't gone up, but you're interacting with people. It just doesn't really make sense. Or it might make sense, but you got to clean out those people and you got to find new ones. Like, that just means that you're not interacting with the right people. And that just means you really need to find your people. You need to find your market. So that is about all I have tonight, you guys. But I hope some of that was. Megan said, I can never get my recordings to load all the way on Instagram stories. It only loads like, okay, that's what was happening to me today on my Instagram story. I was like talking for the whole time, and then it would cut it off and only upload 4 stories. And I was like, okay. And then it wouldn't upload them at all. So I don't know, Instagram's going through something right now. Oh, Felicia, you started it too? The Mikey thing? Has it been growing more now? Okay. Can you unmute yourself, Hunty?
Yeah, so it's been growing more. Like, I think I'm up to, like, because I just restarted my Instagram, so I'm like at almost 900 followers.
I looked at your interaction yesterday, and I think it was like
I just checked it, and it's 6.82%.
Yeah, that was what it was yesterday.
But I was gonna say that working with Mikey, I've noticed not so much that I'm growing super fast, but that my interaction is amazing. The people that he has following me are like very active people. I'm having different people react to my stories. I'm having people comments on my posts and like really going through my profile and stuff. So I've noticed a huge, massive growth in my interaction.
I definitely think that it's been worth it. And this is something that I haven't done the past 2.5 years that I've been in social selling. So it's definitely not required by any means. I'm not going to ask you to spend money that you don't have. But if one day it is that you can spare the money for, I definitely recommend trying it out. And even if you can't, try the 2-day trial and just see see what happens with it. It'll at least get you 2 days worth of new followers. But I noticed that too. I noticed a lot more interaction. Like I could definitely tell a difference. And I noticed that like it wasn't, I don't know, maybe I kind of expected it to be like really stupid people following me when I did my 2-day trial. So I was like, we'll see how this goes. Like I'm sure this is just going to be like a bunch of like people I don't want on my feed, but it's not. It's been a lot of like Felicia said, very active people, definitely people I would have added myself, and I noticed a lot of good interaction on my stories. And my posts didn't do that well the other day that I posted like with the Bellamy thing, but nothing I ever post with products or anything in it does well at all. But I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, now that we've been cleaning, he hasn't been growing because he says that you shouldn't do both at the same time. But the past 2 days that I've been cleaning, I've noticed like my interaction is more down, if that makes sense, like between my stories and stuff like that. So I feel like it's definitely worth it. I'm gonna see how it goes. I don't think it's something that I'm gonna do like forever by any means, but I'm gonna see how it goes for now, which is it's going well just because I literally seriously thought my Instagram was broken, because I haven't been able to like grow for so long. So this will at least get me a head start. And I was like, I asked him the other day, I was like, can we not clean and grow at the same time? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, well, I'm 10K, so like I can have the swipe up feature. Like that's literally all I care about. And I want it so bad. And he was like, oh, well, I can get you to 10K in literally seconds. And I was like, what? And he was like, well, they'll all be like ghost followers. And I was like, no, I don't care about the number. Like I want it to be organic. And he was like, okay, well that's a good plan. And I was like, okay, so if you just care about the number, he can get you to whatever number you want to be at apparently, but it's not going to help your engagement. So, all right, well, that is all I got. Wait, did someone say something?
Well, I was going to say really quick with InstaZoo, because I know we're on Instagram. For me, because I do work a full-time job, like, yes, it costs money, but it's commenting on people that, like, because I have it targeted. So you can target kind of like with him. So it's commenting on, like, targeted people for me. So it's drawing more people to my page, and I'm getting, like, more organic, like, actual people. Yeah, I have it commenting, and then I have the direct message bot. I learned not to have the liking feature on because you will get blocked and go into Instagram jail, but I have it commenting. So, and that's really helpful. Whatever I want, like you can set what the comments are.
But so then what do you say to like people? I don't understand.
So you have to keep it generic.
Yeah, I was about to say,
so it applies to everything.
Like, you're so pretty to like 600 people.
I think I have like 10, and like some of them are just emojis, but some are like, this is really great, let's connect more, like I'd love to see more of this, like stuff that's kind of generic that like they wouldn't necessarily think it's a robot that's doing it. So that's helped me a lot.
I am, and I'm going to download this.
It's a website. You can't download.
What do you pay?
It's like the actual Instagram thing, like I think for a month is like $10 for like the commenting and stuff.
What?
Yeah. So it's worth experimenting with, because we used it for the Loop account we tried to start too, and it brought a ton of people into our inbox.
I'm gonna look at that.
Yeah, Maggie's the one that turned me on to this, so.
I quit it because I couldn't figure it out, and I kept getting thrown in Instagram jail. So I was like, screw this, I'm over it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm probably not going to do it while Mikey's doing all this because it's too much going on, and I don't want to risk like my Instagram getting all messed up. I know when I was with It Works, I used to always hear like people would literally get their Instagrams like deleted because we would like message so many people and stuff. And I remember this girl's like got legit deleted, and the only reason she got it back was because her boyfriend worked for like Facebook and Instagram. They're owned by the same people now. And they had to like go in and like manually, I don't even know what it was, but I know a lot of people would get it deleted. So I don't want too much going on because I don't want it to get deleted, because that would suck.
If you do try it, just turn off the likes, because I figured out that that's what it is. It just goes like crazy, and that's what puts you in jail.
That's crazy. That is so crazy. Oh, all this technology. It's crazy. All right, well, I'm gonna upload the list of loops and thing. This is just one that this influencer thing I joined into. I can't think of any words, but this is just one that she uploaded, and she's a mom, so like I'd say probably over half of them are like mom stuff. So by all means, you don't have to do those, but this is just a list of, I see them all the time. If y'all follow oh my god, hold on, it's gonna come to me. It's gonna come to me. It's not. Oh, Sarah Shelton. She owns a boutique in Virginia Beach. It's called let me look up her Instagram. But she does loops. She they started this like influencer group with a girl named Stacia, and she actually was in Bellamy. I met her at the no words, just literally no words. I met her at the Platinum Party in November. And anyways, they like all know each other, and her hashtag or her Instagram thing is _beauty and the beach _ and I don't know like what I'm sure if you creep enough. But anyways, they created like a giveaway group. So theirs are always really good, like Target giveaways and stuff like that. I haven't done a lot of loops, so if you're interested in loops, go talk to Patricia because she does them like all day, every day. I don't know how they work, so I don't know, but I'm gonna look into them because this girl says that they help her grow. I just don't want to like get to a situation where like I have a bunch of people following me who like don't like care about me. But anyways, thanks guys for hopping on, and thank you for telling me about InstaZood. I love finding out. I'm about to go play with it right now. Just kidding. I gotta go finish my IPA guide and then I'll play with it. Also, can we talk about how Jan Estes stole my Instagram story? So I don't know if I should be like flattered or like, or if I should message her and be like, okay. Allie's mad. Allie was like, I pay for these stories and people keep stealing them, and I'm like, yeah. She was like, I'm really shocked Jan stole that. And I was like, my name's on it too. It's just in the white part. So I was like, free marketing. All right. Well, I am going to go finish up my IPA guide, and I appreciate you guys hopping on, and I will not get this recording up. Felicia's gonna get this recording up, and then anyone can watch it.